Hello everyone, update 46.0 just dropped for FTDZMMAY, and with it comes a new round of bug fixes and balance changes. One change I think will be kind of fun to highlight is a buff to Archmage. Basically mob damage has been increased across the board with basically every attack. So the fireball damage has been increased from 9 to 27. The fire breath attack, dragon's breath attack, his damage has been increased. The mob damage has been increased from 2 to 9, I believe. And the wall of fire buff has also been increased in mob damage massively. So I think it'll be kind of fun to go on to an advanced map like, let's say, Cornfield, and just kind of see how that buff kind of plays out in a real game. It is nice to see some Archmage love, as Archmage was a pretty good tier 5 like many years ago. Unfortunately, just kind of with kind of power creep in general, Archmage just kind of fell out of favor for other tier 5s. To the point where there wasn't really a reason to kind of go for Archmage. I think I'll go for Archmage here. Now, something you'll notice with this change is that this change makes Archmage really good against Moabs, but not so good against ceramics. It's still pretty mediocre against super ceramics, so I do think I'll get Balloon Solver to kind of help out. So this is why I got my wizard kind of up here, and so hopefully I can get glue somewhere like back here to catch ceramics and whatnot. I might try to go for no harvest, we'll just kind of see how it goes, but I'm not promising anything. But yeah, it should be fun, as believe it or not, I don't think I've actually used Archmage in a really long time. There just wasn't really a reason to kind of go for it. I think open down here is probably fine. To the point where I'm not actually sure which cross path is better now. I'm not sure if 520 or 502 is better. I do know that 520 has gotten buffed kind of in previous updates. I'm just not really 100% sure if that's still the case where 502 is still better, because this path gives pierce while this just gives damage, I believe. Anyways, I want to see if I can save up for Arcane Mastery. It is a bit expensive, but I think we might be able to do that. Oben can handle pretty much everything up to the camo, so we should be fine there. Alright, so if we just beat this round, we'll have Arcane Mastery. Yellows are kind of scary, but I think we can hold up just fine. Right, there we go, Arcane Mastery. And then this pretty much secures our early game. So I think I'll settle on... I think I'll go for bottom cross path, because this does give innate kill detection. So next thing I want to do is I definitely do want to alch buff, and then I want to go for my village. So I'll go for Alchemist like here, although maybe I should get it in a more central location. Oh, I forgot about purples. That's a problem. But I don't know if I want alch in a more centralized location, because alch buffing, I'm not really sure if alch buffing Balloon Solver is worth it or not. But I think here having village here is fine. But let me get stuff down first. So let me get Alchemist. And then hopefully Alchemist can help out a little bit against the purples. Alright, alch has been afforded, and then I do want to get glue. Let's get glue down just to hopefully just get placements, and then just kind of hopefully we left enough space for a village. And then this should also help out for the kind of Moab on 40. Arcane Masteries can need some help. Also, we still kind of suck against purples. Alright, Dissolver now. I'm gonna go for middle cross path, because middle cross path I think is the better cross path for top path now, due to the puddles benefiting a lot from the extra pierce versus the higher uptime, I believe, from bottom path, as well as the increased slowdown is from what I heard. Right, is there space for village? Oh, there just is barely. I saw it. There we go. Somewhere like, come on. I just saw it. There it is. There it is. Perfect. I think we're gonna be okay for that round, especially with Oben's Brambles, just hopefully it doesn't screw me over. I just need to pop it, and it didn't even go through the whole Brambles, but that's fine. Pretty easy. I want to save up for Arcane Spike now, just to kind of help out against the kind of mobs, because I think Arcane Spike is pretty decent mid-game from what I remember. Although I don't use this upgrade too often, so I can't actually remember. So I think this, if this keeps up, I think we'll be able to stay with our no harvest. Is there space for the tower? I mean, there is. In case if I need to get a Sabo, that's not a bad option. Although probably have to get something for around 100. I'm not really sure if Archmage on its own can soul the bad layer, basically. Also, Camel Purples exist. I think if I just buy Radar Scanner, I think we should be fine. Because hopefully Dissolver can clutch up. Perfect. So while the mid game is easy, I'll kind of briefly discuss like why is Archmage just kind of seen as mid nowadays, whereas before it was just so good. Well, I did touch on it briefly, but just kind of power creep of the other paths. WLP and Prince of Darkness has gotten a lot of love, but Archmage just kind of stayed the same. And it's kind of a similar problem that's kind of happening with Apache Prime. Apache Prime nowadays is seen as kind of mid to bad, mainly just because the tier 4 is just kind of bad. It's pretty expensive for what it does. Arcane Spike now, as well as Apache Prime itself, it's really expensive and still requires a MIB since some of the attacks can't hit DDTs. And so it hasn't been nerfed anyway, it's just that like a lot of other towers are just good now. So it's just towers getting power creeped out of relevancy basically. And I think that is a little bit sad. I do know that a lot of people like to talk about power creep in BTD6. I don't really have a strong opinion either way, because I mean that does make the game easier over time, which I mean it's a casual game, so I mean whatever. Yeah, either way, I'm just kind of indifferent about it. I do like it when kind of an underperforming tower does get buffed, especially something that's popular like Archmage. And so it is nice, hopefully Archmage can one day be relevant again. Although I don't know if increasing I can understand why they wanted to increase the mob damage of it. I'm not really sure if that would really help too much. Because I mean that's kind of the same niche as WLP, isn't it? Is, Middle Path also having pretty good mob damage? I guess it also has decent cleanup as well. But, I mean, I don't know. Because, I mean, it just seems that Archmage is just kind of a Wizard Lord Phoenix, but cheaper. Which, I mean, I guess wouldn't really be too bad, but, I mean, these have, like, its own identity. Now, I don't think we're going to be able to afford Archmage for 463, which is fine. If not, I could always buy Balloon Liquefier, which isn't a bad option against 63. It is nice that Archmage's range is so big that he can actually eclipse this side, which will be really good for late game. You only buy Liquefier now, especially for this round. The puddles I think will come in handy. The mobs might be a little scary, especially the fortifieds that come in, just because the purples are going to be blocking the projectile of this guy, so hopefully they don't end up being too much of an issue. Now we're fine. 63 I'm not worried about with this guy in field. Also, Arcane Spike actually did fairly well against the ceramics. I think it's because it's turning these ceramics into blues. Oh, last wave we almost got through. I did see briefly there, it was kind of turning the ceramics into blues, which is a little bit helpful because blues are slower than cerams, I believe. Alright, seems like we're getting Archmage on round 70, a pretty early Archmage, and I think this should be fine up until kind of the 80s. The mob damage will be fine, it's just going to be the kind of Super Ceramics. So hopefully I can get up Balloon Solver before Super Ceramics end up being too much of an issue. And once we get Solver up, I think I'll just kind of hold on to my money, see how much money I have left over. As I'm pretty confident that this defense can handle pretty much every other round. And it seems like we don't have to worry about Super Ceramics, so we can actually get Solver just before the ZOMG on 80. So we'll have 20 rounds of saving up. I'm actually kind of curious to see how much money we'll have. Probably maybe around 50k or something like that left over. Should be pretty cool. So it is kind of a good thing that I put Archmage on this side, because if not, rounds would kind of take a long time to kind of get through. And it does seem to be able to just kind of shred through mobs quickly, even though we aren't really taking advantage of kind of the extra mob damage at the moment. Due to the fact that it's kind of so far away that the Fireball or Dragon's Breath attack isn't actually firing yet. Now, even though this isn't a video on Apache Prime, I am kind of a little bit shocked that NinjaQ didn't buff Apache Prime in any way, shape, or form. And considering that A Prime is really kind of in a bad spot right now. Although I guess, I guess buffing underperforming towers does kind of contribute to the problem of power creep. which I guess, you know, should be kind of obvious. I didn't think about that. But, you know, if you do kind of like buff underperforming towers, you know, then that would probably, can't say for certain, that would probably make another tower a little bit irrelevant. And so because of that, that would just kind of contribute to the vicious cycle of power creep. Although in a casual game like this, I don't think power creep is really that big of a deal. DT round should hopefully be no issue. The Archmage is pretty good against DTs. No problems there. I think I'll get stronger stim. Did say I want to save my money, but I do want maybe this guy to get buffed too. As well as higher uptime on Archmage, because it does chew through out buff like no one's business. Alright, the 3 ZOMGs is surrounding. I'm kind of curious how Archmage can handle it. Wonder if Balloon Solver is going to have to do something. Yeah, not really. 93 has more DTs, but yeah, Archmage just shreds through them like butter. Alright, so 94 is kind of like a mini 98. There's a lot of ZOMGs surrounding and a lot of balloons just in general. So I'm curious to see how Archmage can handle this. We are going to be taking advantage of the Fireball and Deep Breath attack, which has increased mob damage, so yeah, shredding through mob class balloons like nothing. This looks bad because the purples and whatnot, but I think we should be fine. Archmage doesn't need a ton of time to beat DTs. Yeah, full speed 95 from an Archmage's way, and it's like no sweat on this guy's back. I could honestly buy perm brew if I want to. I'm not gonna do it. 96 isn't really particularly hard, so shouldn't have to worry about that. Even though there are kind of 4 ZOMGs this round. As we kind of saw, Archmage can handle the ZOMG just fine. 97, I am a bit curious to see how it handles 2 Fortifieds. Yeah, definitely is taking longer, but I think it can handle it just about. Might have to use trees, but I don't think so. That's 1. Okay, it got decently far. Yeah, so Fortified ZOMGs got decently far, there's no surprise there. I'm kind of curious to see how 98 is. Not going to use any abilities to see if Archmage and Solver can handle full speed 98. We just raw dog in 98 right here. And it seems that Archmage and Solver can just barely handle raw dogging a 98. As well as raw dogging 99. 81k left over. I think I might have to get something for this round though. Because I don't know if we have the mob damage, although I'm not even sure what I would get. I could get Elim. Actually, you can't fit bomb in the secret spots now, can you? Nah, I don't think you can. But I mean, Archmage actually did decently well, surprisingly. Yeah, it actually popped the bad layer, which I wasn't expecting. Alright, so I'm actually going to try to preserve no harvest. I'm actually going to get Master Bomber. Mainly just because I can't fit bomb in the middle here, and I don't think bomb fits in the secret spots, so just like an extra like 3k damage should be helpful. Or 6k, I guess I should say. I think like an extra just like 6,000 damage should just be enough to beat this bad here. And I'm kind of curious to see going past 100. Just a little bit. Even though Master Bomber will be kind of blocking a little bit, I think Archmage can probably out DPS this guy. Although I kind of forgot Master Bomber can actually help out against CTs, but I think Fortified ZOMGs are really going to be where we start to struggle. Freeplay ramping at this point is kind of kicking in pretty hard. It is, yeah, we can already see with Fortified DTs we're already struggling a little bit, even with Master Bomber on the field. Yeah, Fortified ZOMGs almost got through, and I think this round has a ton. Yeah, it does. Not gonna use trees, gonna still keep with the no abilities, but I think this round is GG. Unless a Solver can clean up. It's trying. I think I'll do one more attempt of this. The only thing I can really do is like place down trees. So I'll put it like here. Alright, thankfully the mobs didn't hit the Kraken pile. But let's see, how are the ZOMGs now? It's just adding trees can be enough to help? Nah, they still run through. So 103 is death, even though I do have 37k to spend, I could buy something, but I think we've already seen enough here. So yeah, It is nice that Archmage did get some buffs, ending the 103 run with 2 million pops, no surprise there. Solver doing basically nothing, not even half a mil. Ninja, of course, not really doing too much. So yeah, that was pretty fun to see. Hopefully Ninja Kiwi does buff some more underperforming towers, even though that does contribute to power creep. Oh well. I would like to see the day where Apache Prime is also somewhat good again. It is nice to see that Gandalf is actually, I guess, have some power kind of return to him. So yeah, that's pretty fun. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and join Discord. Link is down below in the description. Have a nice day, everyone.